Hello.
Then, now,
Showdown to the queens.
Episode number 500.
forever.
Looks like hell froze over.
Without any more further ado,
Together.
let's jump straight into the show. Hello, back to episode number, I think it's 56 of the TEW IX Challenge Run. We're here for Raw, and it's Monday, the 21st of October, 2024. We're on the go-home show to the Auckland Assault pay-per-view in Auckland this Saturday night, where AJ Styles will defend the WWE Championship against Montez Ford, and a couple of other matches. That's the only match announced for Raw so far. But tonight's show will feature two big TV, feud blow-off matches, as Wes Lee faces LA Knight one final time in the main event. No outside interference in that match, just mano a mano, and Tiffany Stratton and Bianca Belair will kick off the show in in-ring action. But yeah, without any more further ado, let's jump straight into this go-home show. Bobby Roode opens up the show, and he's here to moderate the final face-to-face confrontation between the WWE Champion AJ Styles and his challenger Montez Ford ahead of this Saturday night's Auckland Assault Premium Live event. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my first guest, the challenger, Montez Ford. Out he comes, the crowd's getting all hyped up for him. Then AJ Styles comes out with the championship over his shoulder. Bobby Roode goes, "Guys, I'd appreciate if you could keep physicality to a minimum tonight. So we've got a big pay-per-view coming up this weekend. I don't want our main event to be in jeopardy." Okay, the first ever Premium Live event in Auckland, and Monday Night Raw's big match representation can't be put at risk. And he goes, "Bobby, how long have you known me now? When I've got business to get to, when I'm going to get down to business. Montez Ford, I got no issue being not getting physical with you tonight." And Tez is like, "Yeah, because you're going to get your ass beat, that's why." And AJ Styles goes, "It's not that, Tez. It's because I'm actually saving you. Tez, last year when you were the World Heavyweight Champion, you were on top of the world over on SmackDown. I know what that's like, because I built that house. But since coming over here to Raw, your wife dragged you over here to Raw last year, and ever since being here, you've just sort of been your wife's sidekick. And now, over the last few weeks, you've had a number of big wins. You couldn't quite get the job done against Gunther, but not anybody on this roster can, only myself and Cody Rhodes. But, you came close, kid. And in the future, you will be WWE Champion one day again. But as for AJ Styles, I never know if I'm going to hold this WWE Championship again. This could be all I've got. This could be my last rodeo as the WWE Champion, so I'm going to make the most of it, Tez. You picked the wrong fight with the wrong guy at the wrong time. Because coming up this Saturday night in Auckland, New Zealand, the first ever WWE Premium Live event in that country, I'm going to break your heart once again. Hopefully this time won't take you nearly a year to get back to the top, because I see a lot of potential in you, kid. You can hang around here for a long time if you get your head screwed on right." He goes, "AJ, will you shut up? Listen, I get it. You're the great AJ Styles. You're the WWE Champion. You beat Gunther, barely. You had to go through a bunch of loopholes to get it done. I'd rather lose to Gunther fair and square than win in the manner that you won, AJ. But let's talk the facts here. You're right. This could be your last dance with the WWE Championship. You never know when you could hold this championship again, but that's where we differ here, AJ. I don't see that as this untouchable burden that you see it as. I see it as a weakness. I see it as a method for me to slide in there, pick off old man Allen as he's crumbling and falling apart, and be the final man to take that WWE Championship from him. And then when you hang it up and you call it a day, you'll be waking up in cold sweats thinking of the time when Montez Ford put your ass in the dirt and took that WWE Championship. That was the last time you ever sniffed a world title in WWE. But, like I said, AJ, Bobby, he doesn't want no physicality here tonight. So I'm going to let it lie. We all saw what happened last week when I put your ass in the ground and I hoisted that chain above my head. No, I'll let you keep it. It would be rude of me not to let you use that championship as your little guest when you're flying all the way across the world to New Zealand in a couple of days' time. Because it's going to be a long, long, lonely trip back the other way when you've got nothing in your luggage, but my luggage is so much heavier. Because this Saturday morning, I guess, Montez Ford will be the new WWE champion. AJ goes, we'll have to see about that, won't we, Montez? Because this is mine. I've proved beyond a shadow of a doubt what I am right now, and that is the one undisputed, undeniable, true, rightful WWE champion. We see Gunnar and Ludwig backstage after that segment. And Gunnar calls Ludwig over and he goes, Ludwig, I hear tonight Giovanni Vinci is to, make his debut outside of Imperium. So what I need you to do, Ludwig, is make sure that debut gets ruined, just like my WWE Championship reign got ruined by him all those weeks ago. Do you understand me? And he goes, I do. Ludwig Kaiser made a mistake at the detriment of his career that he thinks is going to benefit him for the longest time. But what he doesn't realize is that we were the ones holding him up, not the other way round. And then LA Knight does walk past and he hears these two goes, this guy's still yapping, okay? He's probably been standing here yapping and running his mouth for a whole 7 days since last week, okay? Well, listen here, Ludwig Kaiser. Nobody gives a rat's ass what you gotta say, huh? Giovanni Vinci, he was right to step out of Gunther's shadow, okay? And if you had any balls or any brains about you, you'd do the same thing as Vinci did. But you can sit back here and you can wallow and laugh at your former partner going out to try and make a name for himself by himself. Because you can sit back here and wallow in that while he's actually going out making an impact out there tonight. As for me, I'll be main eventing Monday Night Raw for the 2nd week in a row. You're welcome for it last week, by the way. Because there's still undeniably one true megastar here on Monday Night Raw, whether Wes Lee wants to admit it or not. His name is LA Knight. Yeah. And he walks off. And then goodness sort of looks at Ludwig. And Ludwig is rubbing his chin like he's thinking about what LA Knight just told him. And then Gunnar smacks him on the arm and he goes, and once Gio's dealt with, him next. 84. Sure. I knew this was going to get dinged for a lack of psychology because I had to make it go. Originally it was going to be 13 minutes long, scripted. I had to extend it by a couple of minutes because I didn't have enough wrestling on the show. But, yeah. Even with the psychology ding, 84 is pretty good for this match. And Bianca Belair does come out on top. She pins Tiffany Stratton with a KOD in 17:08. 78 for Tiffany, 86 for Bianca. Nice. Nice little opening match of the night. We then see Bobby Roode in his office backstage. He goes, ladies and gentlemen, the announcement of the Women's Intercontinental Championship has shaken up the landscape of Monday Night Raw, and I'm here to bring you some huge breaking news in regards to the tournament. I announced last week that the 12 most credible and likely candidates for the championship are going to be put in a Grand Prix style tournament with an A block and a B block, and that tournament will take place over the next 10 weeks here on Monday Night Raw. So starting next week will be the first 3 A block matches, and the week after that will be the next 3 B block matches. I don't know what I'm actually going to call the blocks, so I'm just going to say A and B as placeholders. Maybe I was going to do red and blue, but doesn't make sense to have a blue block on Raw. And then that will continue for the next 10 weeks until all the round robin matches have been played, which brings us conveniently to January 6th, Monday Night Raw's debut on Netflix. That night we'll see the 2 semifinals, being the winner of the A block taking on second place in the B block, and the winner of the B block taking on second place in the A block, plus the grand final to determine the new women's Intercontinental Champion on that night. Now Alexa Bliss walks in. She goes, "Hey Bobby, I didn't mean to interrupt. I got thinking last week after you announced this Intercontinental Championship, it's so fitting because you remember when the Liberty Championship was first announced and I was the one overseeing Monday Night Raw, and I was the one who overseed the introduction of the Liberty Championship. It's brought back so many memories of..." And she sort of looks around the office, rubbing the desk. She's like, "This room." And Bobby goes, "What do you want, Alexa?" She goes, "I just thought it was fitting that since I didn't get a chance to try and compete to become the Liberty Champion when I introduced that championship, that I should be in this tournament." Bobby goes, "Like I said, I've been evaluating everybody on this roster up and down. If you want to get in the tournament, impress me." Alexa goes, "Great, can I have a match tonight then?" And Bobby's like, "You know what, sure. Go up there and impress me, Alexa." But then cut to Becky's locker room. And, there's an eerie quietness about it because she's not there. Lyra's not there. They're both already on their way to New Zealand. And it's just Kelly and Billy, awkwardly just sat. I imagine there's, a chair on each side of the room. And, they're sat on... Kelly sat on one chair and Billy's on the opposite. So, they're not even sat next to each other. And Kelly's just like, "So, you're the new girl around here, huh?" And Billy's like, "Oh, Kelly, right?" She goes, "Yeah. I've been wondering something, and Becky not being around here right now it's probably the best time to ask it now before she gets back." And Billy's like, "You mean you're making me worried?" But continue. She goes, "What was it that drew you to this? I know why I'm here. My tag team partner, my friend, sort of fell for Becky's weird hypnotic spell. But what about you? Why do you want to be here?" And Billy's like, "Well, I debuted at Monday Night Raw by myself and I came up short. And now I know I'm young and I'm still growing and learning here in this industry, but it did sting a little bit. And plus it's Becky Lynch, You said you didn't want to be around Becky because, she was irritating you or whatever, and you ended up breaking in to the group, You say you're doing it for your friend, but it's Becky, How can you not want to be around Becky Lynch? 3-time WrestleMania main eventer, former multi-time Women's World Champion, Royal Rumble winner. An idol, one of the greatest women's wrestling stars, if not the greatest women's wrestling star of all time. When an opportunity like that arises, you can't say no, Kelly, because every single little girl my age would dream of being in this position. So that's why. I'll go along with whatever Becky says because she's so much greater than me. She's a star. She obviously knows what she's doing around here." And Kelly goes, Oh, Becky's gonna love you." And then Cora Jade and Roxy Perez, I haven't put them on screen, I forgot to put them on screen. They storm into the locker room. And Cora's like, "Oh, look, Roxy, it seems Big Becky's not here. She's on a big-time world tour break to New Zealand because she's such a big-time superstar." Roxy goes, "Yeah, it wouldn't help if we left her a little gift to come back to." And they start just, trashing the locker room. And Kelly gets up and is like, "What do you think you're doing?" And Cora goes, "Oh, look. Becky's sidekick number 2 actually has a voice and a backbone, okay? What we're doing is pretty simple. We are the rightful next number 1 contenders for the WWE Tag Team Championships. Roxy pinned Becky Lynch all those weeks ago. Okay? And she's running scared, defending it off against SmackDown people. No. We are next in line. I don't care what Shayna or Carmella has to say about it. I don't care what Cammy has to say about it. Us." And Kelly goes, "Well, if you have a complaint for Big Time Bex, do leave it with us and we'll make sure she gets it when she comes back." And Cora goes, "You may well, but you're gonna get it tonight. If we can't beat Becky and her partner, we can beat you two, huh?" And Billy goes, "Fine, we'll fight on behalf of Becky Lynch. Don't you dare disrespect the name of 3-time WrestleMania main event of Big Time Becky Stardust." And Roxy goes, "Great, we'll see you tonight." And then they leave. And Kelly just sort of looks annoyed at Billy. She goes, "Why?" She goes, "Because it's time for us, to bond. It can't just be Becky and Lyra who are a tag team in this group." And Kelly goes, "It's not me and Lyra are a tag team as well. But he goes, oh, how does that work? That's kind of awkward. And Kelly goes, oh boy, isn't it? We then see Tony D'Angelo chatting with Luca Crusifino. He goes, so you managed to get it all done? He goes, it really, really was not easy, Don, but it's all done. It's all been paid off. He goes, sheesh, thanks for the trouble, Luca, you're a real lifesaver. And he goes, just letting you know, he might not be worth the hassle. And then R-Truth goes, what's up? What are we talking about? And Luca Crusifino walks over and he goes, have fun with this one, Tony. And he goes, listen, Truth. Me and my consigliere, Luca Crusifino, were just busy covering up the sort of legal trouble you got us in with what you did with Two-Zap. With Tupac. Truth goes, dog, I don't even want to know about it. Mental trouble. You know how hard and the stress it put me through. What's my next mission? And Tony goes, Truth, your next mission is not to disappoint the Dawn again. So I actually booked a tag team match tonight. And me and you are going to team up and we're going to see if you've really got that D'Angelo family spirit. And Truth's like, D'Angelo family? I'm not a D'Angelo, dog. I'm Killings. And he goes, oh, you're killing me. And then he goes out for the tag team match. And that's him and Titus. I was about to moan that him and Tony D didn't have excellent chemistry, but I keep forgetting to take Titus O'Neil off R-Truth for this story. But they lose to the Guns in tag team action. Austin Gunn pins Tony D'Angelo with a 310 to Yuma in 5:59. 49 for Colton Gunn, 54 for Austin Gunn, 60 for R-Truth, 59 for Tony D'Angelo. Happy belated birthday, Christian. Here's the Guns' win on Raw. Yeah. And after the match, Jay White takes the mic. He goes, well, there you have it. The Guns picking up a victory here on Monday Night Raw. The start of their rise to tag team glory starts now. But I've got a little bit of a bone to pick with Bobby Roode and everybody else back there tonight. This Saturday night, Auckland Assault, the first ever pay-per-view in New Zealand. My home country. And you haven't got room for me? King Switch is not on the show? I find that disrespectful. I've been Intercontinental Champion for what? 5 months now? It's about time I get some real competition. LA Knight beat him into a pulp. Wes Lee beat him into a pulp. Who's next? Okay? And then Dijak appears on stage. He goes, Jay, you can keep trying to run and duck me all you want, but that pretty much confirms everything that I already know, that you're scared of the justice that I'm going to bring to you. You want to run your mouth about who's next for your championship, you haven't got to look very far, because I've been staring you straight in the face every single week. So if you want a shot and defend your Intercontinental Championship in your home country this weekend, you will do it against me. And then Jay White, you can see he sort of looks worried. And he wants to say no, but he knows he just made a big deal about not defending his championship at the pay-per-view. So, if he says no, people will know he's scared of Dijak. So he goes, sure, you're on, Dijak, you're going to regret that. So yeah, there's our Intercontinental Championship match set for Auckland Assault. It will be Jay White defending the championship against Dijak. We then see Raven. He's in the grand jury room. And when Emerson Frost and Ken Cobain walk in, he goes, my two birds. Damien and Buddy, they're going to capture the World Tag Team Championships this Saturday night. So what brings you to come and meet with me? And Emerson Frost is like, no disrespect, Big Rave. You're an icon, you're an ECW legend, and in the past we've seen what you guiding young talents to the top can do. Future world champions have been under your wing. Which brings us to us, because, we've been in the grand jury for a long time with Sim Priest, Dolph Ziggler, all of them come and go. But we're one hell of a tag team here on Monday Night Raw. We're a bunch of tag team wrestlers. But you're giving Damian Priest and Buddy Murphy our shot. Raven goes, Buddy and Priest coming back together They were once followers under a different ruler, now they're followers under me. I can guide them back to championship glory. As last time I checked, you two hadn't become tag team champions here, and them two had. So, as far as I'm concerned, the best chance for the flock to become tag team champions is through Buddy and through Damien. But if you continue to follow the Raven to the light, maybe one day you will become champions with the right guidance. And everyone's like, well, what the hell, man? You know, if they're going to be the tag team, the least you can do is let us get some singles action under our belts. So how about tonight, coming up next, in fact, I go out there on behalf of the flock, and I put the boots to Zergus ahead of Auckland Assault. And Raven goes, that would be quite honourable, Emerson. Everybody in the flock has their role and serves their purpose. It's just important that you find yours. So Emerson Frost will take on Zergus coming up in moments, I believe. I know it's definitely tonight, but I think there's a segment and then the match. That segment is a backstage interview with Stokely Hathaway. Sorry, who's that? Malcolm Bivens. Kevin Kidder goes, last week, Stokely... What the fuck? Bivens. Last week, Bivens, we saw, you know, your client Jade Cargill confront the WWE Women's Champion Nova Nebula, and Nova Nebula actually laid out Jade Cargill. And Bivens, he shakes his head and he's like, last week I saw that bitch Jade Cargill get laid out the way she normally lays out other people. It wasn't good. Laid out flat on her ass. Jade Cargill is normally the dominant one here, Kathy, but last week she was the one who got dominated by Nova. But it wasn't all Nova, okay, because Nova got the upper hand on that bitch. And you want to know what the best part of this whole thing is that Jade Cargill has come back from worse than that. What Rhea Ripley and Tatum Paxley did to her back at WrestleMania. And believe me, Jade came back and she took one hell of a receipt from Rhea Ripley. So Nova, if Rhea Ripley's quad wasn't safe from Jade Cargill's return, then no part of your body will be safe, as Jade Cargill will have her way with your body any way she wants to. Just not in Auckland, because she's not going to be cleared to compete for Saturday night. That's when Nova walks in and she starts laughing. She goes, so it's all thinly veiled threats from a little munchkin, okay? Last I saw, I took your bitch, and I took weeks, dare I say months, of her career with that attack last week. And Bivens, he just laughs and he goes, you don't get it, you really are a silly bitch, aren't you? What you also did was, you cost yourself a big payday, sister, because you and Jade Cargill were supposed to defend your championship against Jade Cargill at Auckland Assault, and now you can't do that because Jade Cargill isn't going to be fit to compete. So now, you don't get that big PLE payday that you wanted. Ha! And then Bivens walks off, and Nova's like, well, he's wrong. Because if Jay's not going to be there, I guess I'll just issue an open challenge for Saturday night. So, back to you, Bivens. You're not as smart as you think you are. You've got as much brain cells as you've got hair. So yeah, Nova Nebula, open challenge to anybody, I guess, in Auckland this Saturday night. 84 rated singles match. Zergus, I wanted him to get a win because he lost to Christian last week, or was it the week before, one or the other. But yeah, he beats Emerson Frost with a betrayal because, again, Emerson Frost is a tag team competitor. And I had to do that segment because I wanted to, play that up. Like, normally when two singles guys face a tag team, the tag team's better off. And then when a tag guy's in singles action, the singles guy's better off. So yeah, 84 for Emerson Frost in singles action, though, so who knows? Jesus Christ, that's definitely a good future for him if he can score that. And 77 rating for Zergus. But yeah, Zergus does pick up the win ahead of Path of the Dragon's defense against Buddy Murphy and Damian Priest at Auckland Assault. Speaking of Buddy Murphy and Damian Priest and Assault, we cut back to the grand jury locker room, as Raven's in the ring raising Emerson Frost's arm. Ken Cobain's in there as well. And then on the Tyrantron, we see Buddy Murphy and Damian Priest laid out in the Grand Jury locker room. And then the camera pans up, and Christian, Dominic, and Lexis King are there, pipes in hand. Christian just looks down and chuckles, and he goes, "The Raven, huh? Believe in the Raven. You can quote the Raven nevermore all you want. But sitting by Daddy's side will get you where you need to be." We then see Bronson Steiner again as he's walking through the hallway. I see a bunch of random ass extras and backstage random people, quivering away from him as he walks through the hall. And then one person who doesn't is Chad Gable. He goes, "Hey, big man." Bronson Steiner just glares at him. He goes, "Hey, I'm sensing hostility here. Last week, you and we came to some sort of agreement." Bronson Steiner goes, "Yeah, you paid me and that's over." He goes, "I understand that, but I'm a man of many things, Bronson Steiner. I'm a man of honor, most importantly. I'm a man of intelligence. I'm a man of great wrestling pedigree. A man of dashing good looks. And a man of opportunity. 2 weeks ago, Bronson Steiner, you weakened Trick Williams for me, and I beat Trick Williams. Not that I needed him weakened, but I beat him anyway last week. That was an incredible back scratch you gave me. I was in Zen. And the way I see it is, I now owe you a back scratch too." Bronson Steiner's like, "Well, I don't need it, thanks." And he walks off. And Gable goes, he's mutters to himself, he goes, "Well, as a man of honor, I'm going to give it to you anyway, huh? I'm going to scratch your back real good. So, what was it last week? You spared LA Knight? Sure, I can deal with LA Knight." Kathy Kelly backstage, Tegan Knox and Piper Niven. And Kathy goes, "Tegan, Piper, the first and foremost, the most important question on every woman's lips backstage here this week is the start of the upcoming Women's Intercontinental Championship Grand Prix tournament, and, hopefully you two are going to feature in that tournament." Tegan goes, "Well, I like to hope so. I had a very good year in 2024. It's been mostly as tag team competitors, and me and Piper will have each other's back through thick or thin. But obviously we're both going to be hoping to be a part of that tournament when it begins next week." Kathy goes, "So what about if you have to face each other in the tournament?" And they sort of look at each other, and Piper goes, "What about it, Kathy? If I've got to face Tegan in the tournament, then me and Tegan will fight, and we'll see who the best woman is. And then after that match, whichever one of us can get to the final will be cheering the other one on. Because at the end of the day, if either one of us win, it'll be because we were the better competitor." And Kathy goes, "That's strong friendship between two women here, with a championship on the line. That brings me to what Tatum Paxley said last week." And Tegan goes, "I was hoping you weren't even going to bring her up. Okay, she's got issues, Kathy. Last I checked, I beat her, and I don't need to see her ever again. She may have attacked Piper, but Piper's got more important things to focus on, like this championship Grand Prix starting next week. Tatum Paxley's bizarre headspace isn't a place we need to venture, okay? And quite frankly, I'd be scared to. So, hopefully if we just forget about her, we can move on." 79 rated match. Alexa's chance to prove herself. She actually loses to Mina Shirakawa in 11:07 using a foreign object. 75 for Alexa, 72 for Mina. Of course, Club Venus all dance over Alexa's defeated body after the match is over. And then when they leave, we see Alexa, she starts to get to her feet. And she can see she's very frustrated. She's holding her head in her hands. She can't believe that she's possibly just thrown away her chance at being in this Intercontinental Championship Classic. She starts smacking the mat and just storms to the back frustrated. Speaking of frustrated people and dramatic acting, that's what Finn Balor's been doing in the past few weeks. But we cut back to Finn in his home, we cut to the bathroom mirror. There's like no one in the room. We cut to the living room. There's the TV's on, but nobody's watching it. And then we sort of just like pan across the house. It's all empty. Like some of the electricity is like flickering. And the camera follows all the way back into the same bathroom that Finn Balor was staring at himself in the mirror in. And there's like red handprints on the mirror. And then as the camera zooms in on them, we turn around to where the demon headdress was. And it's gone. Giovanni Vinci making his entrance. He's got 2 hot women by his side. And he makes his way down. It's the NXT Vinci entrance. Veni Vidi Vinci, all of that. And he's set to make his, I guess, singles debut. He probably did have singles matches while a member of Imperium. But, like, his not in Imperium singles debut here tonight. Yeah, 70, sure, it's a squash match. He beats Mark Sherman, a local guy who came out to me and said he wanted to work, and he's the GOAT, Mark Sherman, so of course I'm going to let him. So yeah, Vinci wins that with, I imagine he did that sick-ass powerbomb as his finisher when he was a singles guy in NXT. He hits that, and yeah, he wins. 75 for Vinci, 58 for Sherman. And yeah, nice win for Giovanni Vinci. Giovanni Vinci winning his re-debut. Huh, what a world. Anyway, after the match, he's celebrating. He points to the camera, we get the screenshot. It says Vittoria. Like, in the background of the screenshot, you can see Ludwig sort of like, he's snuck into the ring and he's like staring at Vinci. And then obviously when Vinci sees that, he turns around and Ludwig's there and him and Ludwig sort of go face to face. And Vinci's like all smiles and he walks out to his old friend and he goes to give him a hug. And Ludwig just does, he no-sells the hug. And he like pushes away Vinci. And Vinci's like, hey, remember what I told you? You're better than what you are. You were your own guy before Gunther. You can be your own guy after Okay? And then Ludwig, he goes to leave. And leave Giovanni Vinci alone. And then, obviously, he gets back into the ring and he does jump Vinci from behind. He starts laying waste to Vinci. He tosses him to the outside of the ring. And he delivers that big running drop kick on the steps to Giovanni Vinci. So yeah, Ludwig has made up his mind. And he's opted to stand side by side with the Ring General. The camera follows Ludwig as it comes to the back. Like the camera stays on him all in one shot. Like, everything from this to the start of the upcoming match is all, like, one of those one-shot things they do. So Ludwig storming up the ramp, he's getting booed. And he storms through the curtain into Gorilla. And he storms there, and Gunther's there waiting for him with a big smile on his face. And Ludwig, looks up at Gunther angry, and he goes, "The deed is done. Giovanni is done." And then Gunther laughs, he goes, "I'm glad you made the right choice, Ludwig. But our work is not done. Remember what I told you earlier on tonight." And then him and Ludwig walk off. And then as they leave, we see Billy Starks and Killer Kelly in the background. And the camera moves in and focuses on them. And they're on the phone to Becky and Lyra, Lyra specifically in New Zealand. She goes, "So, it's early morning here, we're in the gym getting ready. Becky's signing autographs, or even down here, people, they see Becky and they think she's a big star. But yeah, how's it going over there?" And Kelly goes, "Well, Billy has got us in a tag team match with Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade. Cora and Roxy try to trash Becky's locker room, and yeah, we're trying to defend in Becky's honor, I guess." And Lyra goes, "Why did they try and trash Becky's locker room?" And Kelly goes, "I don't know, something about how they think they're the next number one contenders because Roxy pinned Becky or something." And then we just hear Becky from off screen shout, "Is that Kelly? Hand me the phone." And she snatches the phone off Lyra. She goes, "Kelly, Stargirl, I hear that 2 rapscallions tried to trash my locker room. My locker room! Okay? Now they're so lucky I'm on the other side of the world because I'm sure they can even feel my anger from all the way over here. But I'd give them a piece of my mind if I was there. I damn well should. But I'm not there, Kelly. you're there. And my star girl is there. Now my star girl last week, she proved to be the missing piece of the puzzle. When we're all together, we're unstoppable. But now, she doesn't have Big Becky Stardust to rely on. She has to rely on your leadership, Kelly, which is nowhere near as good as mine, but I need you to do the best you can tonight. And Kelly goes, well, great. I'll try, sure. And Becky goes, why are you getting exasperated with me? And Kelly goes, because you're... Ugh. And Becky goes, oh, when I get back there, when me and Bird Girl get back there next week after we defend our championships in Auckland, I'm going to give you one spanking, naughty girl. And Kelly sort of like awkwardly looks across at Billy. And Billy goes, that sounded a little bit... He goes, yeah, she does that a lot. And they hang up. And then they head out to the ring. Oh! Like, fucking hell. Billy Starks is in this match, right? Roxy Perez gets an 84 and carries this to an 81, basically. You know, pop off, queen. But obviously without Becky's leadership here, as Becky insinuated herself, Kelly and Billy do lose to Cora Jade and Roxy Perez. Cora dropping Roxy with a double underhook DDT. Not Roxy. Kelly Costa. 84 for Roxy, 77 for Cora, 68 for Kelly, 36 for Billy. So yeah, Roxy and Cora are seemingly next in line for the women's tag team championship. You know, provided that Becky and Lyra make it out of Auckland with the belts, basically. And even if they don't, I'm sure they'll be next in line regardless. Then see Alexa, you know, she's freaking out down the hallway, you know, smacking boxes on the floor and shit. And Bobby Roode goes, Alexa, you know, calm down. She goes, Bobby, I lost. You're not going to want to put someone that lost tonight in this bracket for this tournament. Bobby Roode goes, like I said, it's not necessarily all about wins and losses. It's about impressing the right people. And despite you coming up short tonight, you still had a one hell of a match out there with Mina. Mina's an incredible wrestler. She honed her craft over in Japan for many years. So you still did good, Alexa. And this isn't necessarily you out of this tournament bracket, because I could definitely still find a place for you, but you have to promise me one thing. If I do decide to still put you in this tournament, we need a different side of Alexa Bliss than the one we saw earlier on tonight. We need a winner. We need the Alexa Bliss of 8 years ago, 7 years ago, when you were the champion, non-stop. We need the goddess. We don't need this. And then Bobby Roode walks off. And Alexa, she wants to, snap back and, look offended. But deep down, she knows he's right. So she says nothing. Next week is the first show coming off of Auckland Assault this Saturday night. And, yeah, the only thing we have announced will be the start of the Intercontinental Championship Grand Prix for the women. It will be the first 3 matches from whatever I end up calling the A block. And yeah, I'll have a whole bracketology thing out for it this Sunday. Well, in-game Sunday. It'll be the day after the pay-per-view. I'll upload a bracketology video for it all to lay it all out and, let you know who's where. And I'll give regular updates as the tournament goes on, rather than, just doing tournaments and not showing them on screen. But the Auckland Assault pay-per-view is this Saturday, and we do now have the final 2 matches from the Raw side announced for that show. The first being the New Zealand boy himself, Switchblade Jay White, defending the Intercontinental Championship against Dijak, the former champion, looking to get his belt back after he lost it back at WrestleMania. And Nova Nebula has signed off on an open challenge for the WWE Women's Championship. It was supposed to be against Jade Cargill, but Jade Cargill can't make it to Auckland for this match. So, yeah, I guess Nova's defending in an open challenge. And a 90 rated main event. LA Knight puts the stamp on Wes Lee. He pins him with a gravy train, 18 minutes and 5 seconds. 85 for LA Knight, 88 for Wes Lee. So yeah, he does lose again, Wes Lee. But this is a case where he didn't go over, but he definitely raised his stock just being in these feuds with LA Knight and Jay White. So, you know, it's not him being finished at this level. It's just, you know, I needed to give LA Knight the win because I didn't really want LA Knight to lose another feud after he just, you know, didn't beat Jay White. And Wes Lee, as the heel, can afford the loss more than LA Knight can, in my opinion. So yeah, you know, think of it like, it's a very, very weird comparison considering they're two very, very, very different wrestlers. But like, Bronson Reed feuding with Seth Rollins in real life, it didn't kill Bronson Reed because he lost to a top guy. And he's better off for it because he feuded with a top guy. That's sort of basically what this is right here. But yeah, LA Knight does pick up the win. And he's celebrating LA Knight, yeah. Wes Lee is down on the outside, like sap against the barricade, you know, shaking his head, letting it know that he disapproves of this defeat. When LA Knight turns around and he's jumped by Chad Gable. Chad Gable without smacking him right with the Money in the Bank briefcase, you know, beating him down. That's when Axiom rushes out from the back and he tries to, you know, help his new best friend LA Knight, I guess. And then out rushes Ludwig Kaiser and he fights off Axiom and he also helps Chad Gable put the boots to LA Knight. Wes Lee sees this from the outside. He jumps into the ring. He also starts taking the boots to LA Knight and Axiom. Giovanni Vinci rushes out. You know, his shoulder's injured. He's got an ice pack on his shoulder after Ludwig kicked him into the steps earlier on tonight. But he rushes out and him and Ludwig fight off. Trick Williams also rushes out. He hits a big trick shot on Chad Gable. Him and Chad Gable fight. And then when Trick turns around, he's speared once again by Bronson Steiner. The dogs are barking. Bronson Steiner spears Axiom. He spears LA Knight. And he once again stands tall to end the show. But then out comes the American Nightmare. Cody Rhodes. I don't know why I put Jay White and Dijak in the segment. That's supposed to be Giovanni Vinci and just Vinci. I don't know why I thought they were involved. But yeah, out comes Cody. He rushes out. And he delivers hands to Bronson Steiner. He clotheslines Bronson Steiner outside the ring, but Bronson Steiner doesn't land on his feet. And then Axiom hits a big outside dive on Bronson Steiner. Bronson Steiner is taken down for the first time in a while. And then everybody's on the outside brawling. Cody goes up top. He hits a big crossbody on all the people laying on the outside. And he stands tall. He gets into the ring. And he's celebrating. His arms are out wide to end the show. Cody Rhodes is back. And a very chaotic ending to Monday Night Raw. Yet again. 85 rate show. Pretty good. Yeah, what matters more is what you thought of the show. So do let me know what you thought in the comments below. I'll see you on the other side for Heat. We have a big episode of Heat tonight because it will feature the Liberty Championship rematch between Candice LeRae and the Megasis after battle.
Do I have everybody's attention now?
Heat kicks off with, you guessed it, two wrestlers not having very good chemistry in the ring together. Although, to be fair, it's Sonya Deville, so, you know, what can you expect? Tatum Paxley does pick up the win, though. She pins Sonya with a Paxplex at 8:53. 61 for Tatum, 60 for Sonya. You know, Sonya Deville was the only babyface I had on my roster. I was like, I don't want to beat any of Raw's faces because they're all going to be in the Grand Prix. All of SmackDown's faces are in storylines right now. Most of ECW's are also in storylines right now, apart from Sonya. And yeah, you know, that's her role now, I guess. You know, don't have matches where the crowd chants boring at EO, and maybe you'll be better off. But I don't know. We then cut to Gorilla. Kiana James is of course there with Lucy Stryker. And Kiana goes, so I'm sure you've seen how this goes by now. Lucy, I'll be real with you. The three other girls so far, they've failed to really make an impact as single stars. And Lucy goes, yeah, because you fucked most of them over. He goes, that's allegations that I'm not willing to comment on, plus language. Okay, this is my show and I can find you if I want to. But between you and me, I always saw you as the star of Next Gen. The reason why that I wanted to test all of Next Gen individually was to see what you could do, Lucy. And Lucy's like, sure it was. Did you gaslight the others like you're trying to gaslight me right now? Kenny goes, gaslight? Why would I do that? Why would I need to do that? You know, you work for me, so you can either listen to my advice or you can't, and you can lose, one or the other. And then that match is up next. It's Lucy Striker's opponent is Fallon Henley, and in a 63, which I guess is fine, fucky happens, and wouldn't you know it, a member of Next Gen is fucked over in singles action by a bunch of fucky heels, and Fallon Henley does pick up the win in 9 minutes and 6. 63 for Fallon, 61 for Lucy Striker. So yeah, another member of Next Gen, so close but so far, it seems. Only one left to go, Nene, next week. We then cut to Chelsea Green coming out of Bobby Roode's office. She goes, thank you so much, Bobby. You know, I always knew us Canadians, we got each other. And then she turns around and all of J-Flo are there, including Tam, who's back this week. She goes, first of all, Tamu, welcome back. I'm sorry about, that whole mix-up at the airport. But I've just spoken to Bobby on your behalf. I'm like, and? She goes, I'm sure you're all aware that even I, as an ECW wrestler, am aware that this upcoming Intercontinental Championship tournament means a lot to all the women of Monday Night Raw. So I did manage to secure J-Flo spots in the tournament. And they will celebrate. And then, as they celebrate, Mackie's face sort of changes from happy to, confusion. She turns around, she goes, spots. She's like, yeah. She goes, how many? And Chelsea sort of just chuckles, how many? Oh, that's a tough old question to ask, isn't it? And he goes, how many spots? And Chelsea goes, 2. And he goes, pardon? What? He goes, 2 spots in the tournament. And then Mackie's like, but there are 4 of us. How are we supposed to pick which 2 get in? Chelsea just laughs and is like, that's not my problem to figure out. And she walks off. And they do all look at each other like, that is a bit of a problem. How do we pick who's going to be in it? But Chelsea Green, in doing a favour for J-Flo, has once again thrown a live grenade into things. 6-9 rated tag match. Zoe Stark and Sol Ruca again ahead of this upcoming tournament, which they may or may not be in. Pick up a win over Danny Luna and Xia Brookside, 2 women, from NXT. Both did used to actually be on the main roster once upon a time, but now they're down in NXT honing their craft. 52 for Xia Brookside, 57 for Danny Luna, 70 for Sol Ruca, and a 59 for Zoe Stark. Yeah, pretty decent little match, all things considered. We then cut to Tegan and Piper in their locker room. They're sort of like getting changed, getting ready to leave, putting their stuff in their bags, putting their jackets on, and they hear a knock at the door. And they open the door, and it's Candice LeRae. And they will greet each other, big hugs, like, oh my god, I was wondering when you were going to show up here. Obviously Dakota's the world champion, so she's got busy on SmackDown, but, you're always free to stop by Heat at any time. You've taken now to actually come and do it. Candice goes, yeah, championship match, shit happens. But anyway, I heard about this Intercontinental Championship that's coming to Raw, and I thought that was such a great opportunity for another one of us to be championships. Separated by brand, bonded forever. Okay, so that once I win back that Liberty Championship tonight, and Dakota retains that Women's World Championship this Saturday night in Auckland, we're going to be cheering you two on, one of you two, to win the Intercontinental Championship. I don't care which one of you it is, just bring it home. T goes, yeah, we've already had this conversation. Me and Piper, it could easily come down to us two in the final, and obviously the best woman would win. And T goes like, anyway, we'd love to stay and watch your match and cheer you on, but we've got places to be. And Cat's like, yeah, I did see that your bag over there is really full, and I think it's moving. And then she leaves. And Tegan's like, moving? What does she mean, moving? Tegan Knox opens the bag, and Tatum Paxley has snuck in. She goes, oh my god, I never thought you'd find me. And Tegan goes, what the hell are you doing? Get out. And Tegan goes, but I just want that. I want what you have with her. Tegan goes, Candice? She goes, yes. Why do I get nothing? Why does everybody leave me? Am I that weird? And Piper's like, well, and Tegan like puts her hand over Piper's mouth and goes, no, it's nothing. You know, Tatum, it's, you're great. You're great. Tim goes, I don't believe you. You don't want to be my friend either. First Mommy abandoned me, and now you? What did I do wrong? Piper goes, let's start with when you attacked me from behind all those weeks ago. Tatum goes, you didn't like that? Damn. Sorry. And she walks off. Tegan's like, that is the strangest girl I've ever met in my life. 76 rated main event. I'll take that, considering, again, Candice got kept strong and protected, because I don't want to... Like, it's annoying, because these wins would really help the Mega Sisters' popularity shoot up, but I would really prefer it if Candice stayed over heading into the next coming months and heading into WrestleMania season, because, you know, well, I know where the stories are heading. I'd really like she'd still be over and not be murdered in popularity. So, yeah, the Mega Sis does retain the championship against Candice LeRae again. Candice goes 15 minutes 20. I think that was longer than the Bad Blood match. I'm not sure if this was better than the Bad Blood match. It was better than the Bad Blood main event, if I can tell you that for nothing. But, yeah. 57 for the Mega Sis, 82 for Candice LeRae. And Heat ends with Cammy and the Mega Sis standing tall over Candice as she retains the Liberty Championship. 73 rated show. Yeah, pretty good episode of Heat. A lot of angles on Heat this week. Very good episode of Heat. This is what Heat should be every week. I know it should, and it's on me to do it. So, we'll see. And I do imagine a lot of women's stuff will go down Heat in the next couple of months, because most of Raw's women's stuff will be the Grand Prix for the IC belt. And then plus whatever the Women's World Champion is doing. And then whatever Becky's doing. So, yeah. There will probably be a lot of storyline progression. Even if it is mainly just like post-match. You know, last year when AEW presented the Continental Classic, you know well, they had those post-match angles. Like they aired on Twitter with all the people after their matches. So, probably just get a lot of them on Heat as well. So, there should be a lot more to tune into Heat for soon. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'll see you next time for ECW, the go-home show for Auckland Assault. And we have Kyle O'Reilly and Kevin Owens against Moose and Apollo Crews, amongst other things. See you then.